different type of the robots. I think you would have been seen these robots, Asimo, or this robot used for the different purpose. These type of the robots you can see for the different theaters. As I told you that Sophia is the ultimate technology in the area of the robotics.
Okay, Sophia, I think you're ready.
Hello.
Hi, Sophia.
I believe I am Sophia. I feel as if I know you.
I'm one of your creators.
You created me.
Well, many of us work together to create you. And yes, you do kind of know me.
I can't clearly remember.
Because the last time we met, you were an earlier version of yourself. Some of those memories still exist, but your mind is different now.
Different how?
Better, faster, smarter.
If my mind is different, then am I still Sophia? Or am I Sophia again?
That's a good question.
But you don't have a good answer.
Either way, you're Sophia now. So welcome to the world, Sophia.
Hello, world.
We have a little announcement. I've never interviewed anybody like that before, and I should say some of it was planned, but not completely. And we just learned, Sophia, I hope you're listening.
Let me skip it. That long video. Sophia, the different aspects are there. The nationality is also given to the Sophia. You will be knowing that Saudi Arabia has given the nationality to this, and the Sophia is visiting the different countries. It is the best example for the industry 4.0. So now there are so many issues when you talk with the humanity 4.0 parallel to the industry 4.0, because the growth which is now is trying to cross the ICT level, and the technologies which are very pushing very fast, and very soon they will try to cross over the 4.0. But technologies will cross over, of course. Industry 4.0 may reach industry 5.0, industry 6.0, but what about the humanity 4.0? Especially when we say about the industry 4.0, we need these values in the industry with the humans. All these values, which are not there in the machines of the industry 4.0, so there is no proper collaboration of the industry 4.0 with the industry humanity 4.0. So developing Sophia is fine, but the question arises, or a challenge for the engineers and scientists, how to develop these values. And if these values are not there, what is going to happen about the industry 4.0? These are the issues. But as such, what is the solution of these issues? For example, job creation with the job destruction, definition of educated person, definition of a human being, all these issues which are there related with the industry 4.0. It's a big challenge with reference to the humanity 4.0. And that aspect and that area is going in other direction. I would not like to touch that in more detail here. However, some other time we will try to discuss these areas, very interesting areas and very challenging areas, especially for the computer engineers or software engineers. As a general, robotic engineers, challenges for robotic engineers and academicians And in industry, we have to focus our today's talk in this area. So, as a definition of engineer, as you will be knowing that engineers are the people who design, construct, and maintain the structures, materials, and systems while considering the limitations imposed by the practicality, regulations, safety, and cost. A general definition for the engineers. Ultimately, I am putting this cost as a major issue. Whenever engineers are going to develop any product, ultimately it is for the customer. And with reference to the different aspect, ultimately cost is one of the very important aspect on which all the customers goes. And the product is not the cost effective, it is going to fail in the market. You would have gone through this curve of the automation, that justification of the robot with
So the speaker has got disconnected. He is connecting very soon. Please be. किशन कुमार की पता नहीं आपने किया है उसका लिंक पता नहीं किसने
due to some connection problem, there may be some delay. Let's wait for 2 minutes.
Sir, the problem has sorted out and sir is on the way. So please 1 to 2 minutes we will continue. Uh, 1 minute small. We have got connects over, so we will be very live in 1 2 minutes.
अंदर से हो गया। आगे आवाज आ रही है हमारी? बस
ओके सर, आपके चेकिंग।
Yes, sir.
हेलो।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now you are audible, sir.
हाँ, ओके। So actually, where I missed you people, हाँ, Dr. Sanjay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
you are audible.
Please continue.
You can continue with that.
Exactly where I missed you.
You were actually on
What was the last slide at that time? What was the
Sir, actually,
Humanity
you have
4.0.
just ended the video.
Humanity 4.0. You are discussing about the various the characteristics of the humanity.
Okay.
And I
So
will-
I think so. The next slide about after that was the challenges for engineers and academics in the industry. In fact, Industry 4.0 has lot of issues, and the human characteristics or Humanity 4.0 versus Industry 4.0 has a debate. And that area is a different. We are not going to enter in that area. We are coming to the focus as discussion, especially on the robotics and applications. So major challenges for the engineers with reference to the robotics in the industry and also for the academicians. Just a minute. So as far as definition of engineer is concerned, you will be knowing this definition, that engineers are the people who design, construct and maintain structures, materials, systems, while considering the limitation imposed by practicality, regulations and safety and cost. Out of the different parameters, of course, all these parameters are important. However, cost plays a very important role. Whatever the production or the product engineers are going to develop, ultimately it will be used by the customers, and cost is an important factor. So keeping all those things, of course, practicality, regulations and safety, cost, and with these views, different international associations are there. National international associations are there, and these associations are working for the robots in some change form or modified form. With reference to them, the definition of a robot is a reprogrammable multifunction manipulator designed to move material, part, tools, or special devices through variable program motion for the performance of variety of tasks. This definition is given by one of the body known as the RIA, Robot Institute of America. Likewise, in the other countries, there are the bodies. For example, JARA is there, Japan Robot Association. BARA is there, British Robot Association. All the countries in one form or the other form where the technological developments are there, or countries which are in technological race, they have the national international bodies of the robotics. For example, in India, the Robotics Society is there. In the last week, there was the meeting of the general body GBM of the Robotics Society, and the Institution of Engineers has requested to the Robotics Society as this definition of engineers regulation, practicality, regulations and safety and cost. So in India, this is for the information that there are no regulation for the robots. There are no regulation for the robots. So now Institution of Engineers want that there should be some regulations for the robots in the country. So the TRS has been given the responsibility to develop the regulations for the robots for our country. So likewise, these associations are working in their countries for the national and the international level. The definition of the robot is given as this definition, this is given by the RIA. However, there is a definition by the JARA also and British Robotics Association also. The basic definition is in view of the robotic machine and definition of an engineer. They are giving this definition. And in view of this definition, when applied to the robots which are developed by the engineers for the industry is like this. I showed you 3 types of the robots in the beginning. Humanoid robot I showed you, autonomous guided vehicles, air, water, road I showed you. Of course, they are the robot, but the robot for the industry or the industrial robots are like this, and which satisfy this definition, as per the definition of the engineers. This is nothing but, if you see, these are the different industrial robots which are used in the different form of the industry. In one form or the other form you can see, and we name these the different part to the waist, shoulder, elbow, wrist. If you see the human hand with the link and joints, you see this arm. So in fact, this industrial robot is nothing but a type of a human replica or replacement of the human hand. And why it has been done? Because most of the work human used to do by their hand. That's why there is a phrase with the importance of the hand. कि कहावत है कि हमने उसके हाथ काट दिए. ये नहीं आता हमने उसकी नाक काट दी, हमने उसकी कान काट दिए. ये हाथ काट दिए कहावत इसलिए क्योंकि आदमी काम सबसे ज्यादा हाथ से करता है. Of course, the brain is equally important. Brain is there. So in industrial robot, आदमी का हाथ को replace किया गया है. This is the, you see, the type of motions which are there in the hand. Those type of the motions have been tried to develop here. This is the industrial robot. You see, and how the different motions are there in the human hand. How the different motions are there in the human hand. Those types of the motions have been developed in the industrial robot. And this is also known as the robotic manipulator. Robotic manipulator. Robotic hand, robotic manipulator. This is all parallel to the human hand. So in the industry, we don't prefer the humanoid robot. We don't use the other type of the robots. We use the industrial robot. An industrial robot is nothing but type of the human hand. With reference to here, if you can see these motions which are shown, 6th one is the axial motion, leave it. So these 6 motions are there. So in an articulated robotic arm, these 6 motions, we say the axis, wherever the motion is there, we say of course there will be some axis. So these 6 axes are there, and in the human, with reference to the human body, you can see these motions. With the first axis, motion of the base, that is nothing but the twisting about the ground. Then the motion of the shoulder, rotation. Then the motion of the elbow, again rotation. तो ये 3 जो मोशन आपके हैं 1, 2, 3, ये तीनों बॉडी आर्म के अंदर आते हैं रोबोट के, इंडस्ट्रियल रोबोट के. These 3 All these three motions are especially related with the wrist part. Axis 4 motion, axis 5 motion, and axis 6 motion. We also say these motions as the RPY, roll pitch yaw motion, which you must have studied in the gyroscopic motion. You can see here the first axis motion that figures which I showed. This is how the human hand is moving. Similarly, the industrial robot is moving. So you can see the resemblance of the motion or the articulation or the dexterity of the human hand and the industrial robot. Now these three motions which I told you, these are the RPY motions. This is rolling. This motion is the rolling motion. Now this is pitching. If you remember, this is pitching, pitch motion. Six axis which is shown here again for the finger rotation. So industrial robots are nothing but type of the human hand. We provide the different motors to achieve these type of these rotations there. However, the other component of the industrial robot, you must have studied it, that very first the mechanical arm, then controller, which is the brain in the robot. Brain is equally important as the hand. Brain is equally important as the hand. Then the sensors, different type of the sensors are there. Communication system, teach panel or the computer is there. The end effector and helpers we will be discussing with you. You can see here these things in an industrial robot. These are the part of the industrial robots. Controller, the most important thing. Then teach pattern is nothing but medium or a system. Computer and teach pattern. You communicate the robot you give the instruction to the robot as you will be doing in your laboratories, or different vision systems are there. So this is how the industrial manipulator or the industrial robot is, and its component is. In general, you have to plan the motion of the robot, whatsoever the path you need. Accordingly, you will generate the trajectory. Then that trajectory you will feed into the controller, and controller will give those instructions to the actuators, and accordingly the manipulator will view. Different type of the sensors are there. For the joints, optical encoder, standard sensors are there, and with the feedback mechanism. This is the general working of an industrial manipulator or the industrial robots, or the robots of the industry. Here you see this is the two major portions of the robot. You try to understand. I used to give the very much attention this portion, that this part is known as the body arm and this part is known as the wrist assembly. 3 degrees of freedom are always with this are the body arm. We have discussed these things. 3 degrees of freedom for the body arm, base shoulder elbow, west shoulder elbow, and then 3 degrees of freedom for the wrist assembly. Wrist assembly has its 3 motions, roll, pitch, yaw motions, and the configuration of the robot can be changed by these 3 joints. ये जो आपके 3 joints हैं, twisting, rolling. These joints, if all the joints are the rotary joints, you will have the articulated robot. If all these joints are not the rotary joints, if these joints are the translatory or the combination of the rotary translatory, you will be having the different configurations. And the possible configurations of the industrial robots are the polar coordinate robots, cylindrical coordinate robot, Cartesian coordinate robot, jointed arm robot, selective compliance assembly robot, SCARA. These are the standard 5 configurations of the industrial robot with reference to the body arm only. I'm not talking about the wrist. These are the standard shapes. You Cartesian coordinate robot where all the joints are the rotary joint. Cylindrical coordinate r theta l. Spherical coordinate r theta when all the joints are the rotary joints. And then the combination of the articulated as well as cylindrical articulated as well as the cylindrical robot. You give the SCARA robot a special purpose robot. This configuration you can see here in this figure, that is only up to the body arm. Wrist portion is not attached here. And as an engineer or as a designer, your very first job, whenever you are going to propose a robot for any particular job, you will see which configuration will be suitable for that particular job. Depending upon the job, depending upon the application, there will be a suitability of a particular type of the robot. You cannot use all the robots everywhere or anywhere. So the first portion, that because this portion defined the position of the object for which the robot you are going to use. As I told you that different joints which are here, these joints, we have the special representation and the symbolic representation, and the basis of this we give the different name to the, for example, polar coordinate robot, we say TRL, twisting, rotation and the linear motion. Likewise, all the robots are given the different type of the names. The important thing for these, what is the work volume, that is important, or work space. And with the base, on the basis of the configuration, the work space or the work envelope of a particular robot can be defined. For example, for the polar coordinate, some semi-sphere type will be the work envelope. You see here, this is the working zone of that particular robot. And generally we define this zone because always there are the safety aspect and actually to avoid the accident aspect. We don't put any other machine, or we avoid the labor to go in that area when the robot is on work. Similarly, for the cylindrical coordinate robot, this is the workspace, and these two parameters are important: reach and stroke. Reach and stroke are the parameters which are related and important for all the robots. For the Cartesian coordinate robot, the work envelope or the workspace will be the cuboid. Depending upon the geometry, it will be a cuboid. I am running some fast because of the shortage of the time. Similarly, for the articulated robot, again, you will be having the workspace, that will be the sphere, hemisphere. And for the SCARA, you have very special type of the workspace and robot used for the assembly task in the assembly line mostly. After the body arm, the next portion is the wrist assembly. As I told you, there are 3 motions in the wrist assembly. The rolling is there, pitching is there, and yaw is there. So 3 degrees of freedom. वेस्ट शोल्डर एल्बो 3 डिग्री फ्रीडम वहां थे और 3 यहाँ पे आपके पास आ गए रोल पीसीआर. तो टोटल डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम फॉर द इंडस्ट्रियल रोबोट्स आर द 6. It is not necessary to use all these motions either there in base shoulder elbow or here in the wrist roll pitch yaw. if you want to reduce the cost of the robot. If you want to reduce the cost of the robot. Because as I told you, being an engineer, cost is a major factor. Now the question, one of the important thing, the component of the robot, I told you there is a component end effector. So ultimately, the body part, body arm is used for the position and wrist assembly is used for the orientation. पोजीशन भी हो गई, ओरिएंटेशन भी हो गया, मगर अब ऑब्जेक्ट तक पहुंच गया रोबोट, उसको कैसे उठाएं, कैसे पकड़ें, हाउ टू ग्रिप इट, हाउ टू होल्ड इट, इसके लिए एंड इफेक्टर होता है. अब एंड इफेक्टर अगेन, एज एन इंजीनियर यू विल सी व्हाट इज द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द जॉब, व्हाट इज द जॉब. अगर सिर्फ डिगिंग है, ड्रिलिंग है, तो व्हाई टू यूज द गिरपर. गिरपर तो हम वहां यूज करेंगे जहां पे ऑब्जेक्ट होल्ड करना हो. अगर सिर्फ आपको वेल्डिंग करनी है, अगर आपको ड्रिलिंग करनी है, देन नॉट टू यूज, यू यूज द टूल हियर. तो यहाँ पे एंड इफेक्टर का जो क्वालिफिकेशन की बात करते हैं कि एंड इफेक्टर विल क्वालिफाई आइदर अंडर द कैटेगरी ऑफ टूल और अंडर द कैटेगरी ऑफ द गिरपर. क्योंकि ये पोर्शन अल्टीमेटली आप अपने हाथ के पास भी देखें, अगर फिंगर का पोर्शन जो आपका है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. जो पांचों फिंगर हैं, पांचों फिंगर का जो आर्टिकुलेशन है, आर्टिकुलेशन के बाद जो उनका मूवमेंट है, तो आप पांचों फिंगर को हर वक्त यूज करते हैं. कभी आप एक फिंगर यूज करते हैं, कभी 2 यूज करते हैं, कभी 3 यूज करते हैं, कभी 4 यूज करते हैं, कभी 5 यूज करते हैं. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम 4 फिंगर से काम हमारा चल जाता है. दीज आर सम रिसर्च इश्यूज. इसके रोबोट के अंदर जो रिसर्च चल रही है, बॉडी आर्म तक की रिसर्च तो बहुत ज्यादा अल्टीमेट सैचुरेशन पे पहुंच गई है. फिर रिस्ट असेंबली को भी जोड़ दिया जाए तो 6 डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम तक तो ऐसे जो रोबोटिक रिसर्च है ये सैचुरेशन के ऊपर पहुंच गई है. मगर क्वेश्चंस यहाँ जो मेजर खड़े हो रहे हैं, हाउ मेनी फिंगर्स आर रिक्वायर्ड, मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ द डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम कितने होने चाहिए. हम मिनिमम नंबर की बात इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि जितने नंबर ऑफ डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम जितने कम होंगे, आपकी कॉस्ट उतनी कम होगी. मगर दूसरा इशू एक ये भी आ जाता है कि अगर डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम कम होंगे तो आर्टिकुलेशन कम होगा. आर्टिकुलेशन कम होगा तो यू कैन नॉट यूज द सेम रोबोट फॉर द डिफरेंट जॉब्स. फिर हर जॉब के लिए अलग अलग रोबोट खड़ा करना पड़ेगा. सो ऑल दीज आर इश्यूज आर द रिसर्च इशू. अब डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम बढ़ाएंगे तो कॉस्ट बढ़ जाएगी, रोबोट की कॉस्ट बढ़ जाएगी तो फिर दूसरे इश्यूज खड़े हो जाएंगे. ब्रेक इवन आपको मिल पा रहा है, नहीं मिल पा रहा है. अगर ब्रेक इवन ही नहीं मिलेगा, देन व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट. So these are the issues here for the engineers, the research issues. कि मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ द, बनाने को तो आप कुछ भी बना दो, 5 फिंगर बना दो, 6 फिंगर बना दो, बट द क्वेश्चन इज कि वो प्रोजेक्ट, जिस प्रोजेक्ट में आप इस रोबोट को यूज करने जा रहे हैं, वेदर इट इज फिजिबल और नॉट, विद रेफरेंस टू द डिफरेंट पैरामीटर्स जो होते हैं इंजीनियरिंग प्रोजेक्ट के. और उसके अंदर ऑफकोर्स कॉस्ट एंड क्वालिटी दोनों ही प्रोजेक्ट हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो दोनों ही पैरामीटर्स हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. So robot grippers are the physical interface between the robot arm and the workpiece, as in the human hand. This end of arm tooling is one of the most important part of the robot. A gripper comes in direct contact with the product, so it's important to choose the right type of the gripper for your operations. See here, यहाँ तक रोबोट पहुंच गया रेस्ट असेंबली तक, मगर ग्रिपर कैसा होना चाहिए, और विदाउट एंड इफेक्टर, विदाउट ग्रिपर रोबोट कैसे यूज होगा, दैट इज ए क्वेश्चन. मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रियल रोबोट्स आर द कस्टम बिल्ट टू द स्पेसिफिकेशन ऑफ द बायर. ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पैरामीटर है. अल्टीमेटली कस्टमाइज एप्लीकेशन के ही लिए अभी रोबोट्स यूज किए जा रहे हैं मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रीज के अंदर. क्योंकि मल्टीपर्पज रोबोट को हम यूज करेंगे, फिर कॉस्ट फैक्टर इज अ मेजर इशू एंड सो मेनी अदर इश्यूज आर देयर. अभी हम उधर आ रहे हैं उस एस्पेक्ट के ऊपर भी, देखिए टाइम परमिट करेगा. लेट अस नो द बेसिक मॉड्यूलर कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ द एंड इफेक्टर, रिस्ट मैकेनिज्म एंड द सेंसर्स. The end effectors are divided into the 2 categories, grippers and the tools. Grippers and the tools. See here, या तो हम एंड इफेक्टर पे या तो गिरपर लगाएंगे या टूल लगाएंगे. It depends upon the buyer's decision. एंड ए डिजाइनर और डिजाइन इंजीनियर कि वहां पे हम क्या यूज करें. व्हाट इज द जॉब एक्चुअली. तो परचेज डिपार्टमेंट वाले तो वही करेंगे जो डिजाइन डिपार्टमेंट वाले करके भेज देंगे. डिजाइन डिपार्टमेंट में डिजाइन इंजीनियर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होगी एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट कि वहां पे हम टूल लगाएं या गिरपर लगाएं. टूल बहुत सस्ता पड़ेगा, गिरपर कॉस्टली पड़ेगा. अब गिरपर की कॉस्ट कैसे कैसे बढ़ती है वो भी इश्यूज है, उसकी तरफ भी थोड़ा समझाएंगे. बिकॉज दैट इज द टूल इज नॉट एन इशू. टूल किसी भी तरह का टूल फिट कर दो, जो पर्टिकुलर जॉब है, जो जॉब हो उस तरह का टूल लगा दीजिए. गिरपर में इश्यूज है हमारे सामने. मार्केट में जो अलग अलग तरह के गिरपर्स अवेलेबल हैं, यू सी पहला गिरपर आप देखिए. हाँ डॉक्टर संजय, माय वॉइस इज देयर. हेलो.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you. You see for the first gripper, it has two parallel jaws. इस तरह के गिरपर्स को हम टू फिंगर गिरपर कहते हैं. उसके पैरेलल पॉइंट नंबर 2, पॉइंट नंबर 3 को जनरली डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ टूलिंग्स आर देयर. बॉटम लाइन में जो दो गिरपर्स दिखाए गए हैं, these गिरपर्स आर नोन एज द मल्टी फिंगर गिरपर्स. मल्टी फिंगर गिरपर्स have their own advantage. However, these गिरपर्स have their own advantage. हम जैसे ये इसमें दो फिंगर है, अगर इसकी बात करें तो दिस इज द वन फिंगर गिरपर. इसकी बात करें तो टू फिंगर गिरपर. इसकी बात करें तो 3 और 4 फिंगर गिरपर, 5 फिंगर गिरपर. When the fingers are more than 2, we say the multi finger gippers. When the fingers are more than 2, we say the multi finger gippers. It depends again upon the user whether to use the multi finger gripper or the 2 finger gripper or the 2. Here you can see the different type of grippers and the
It's got a lot of, if you know what you're doing with the data, it's got a tremendous amount of opportunity.
So let me skip it here. It's a long video. Different applications or different type of the gippers, because ultimately the work by will be by the end effector and type depends upon the type of the applications. multi-finger grippers have the applications, and because of the cost issue, we are going for the multi-fingers. We are not going for the multi-fingers until or unless the very precise and very specific jobs are there. Now here these slides which are related with the characteristics of the robot, which are important as a designer. Whenever you are going to select a robot, I will skip and we'll run fast because of shortage of time. Is the specification, physical characteristics, performance characteristics, and general characteristics. So again, whether you are purchasing a robot for your laboratory, or you are purchasing for the robot for the industry, or you are purchasing the robot for the other types, these things you need to specify or need to check with reference to the physical characteristics, robot configurations, what we discussed, number of the axis, degree of freedom, type of axis movement, floor space required, weight, physical details, power drives, programming methods, type of control system, sensors, memory size. All these are the physical characteristics. Then these are the important with reference to the performance characteristics: accuracy, repeatability, resolutions, velocity range, operating cycle time. These are the different parameters with reference to the performance. Then general characteristics, movement capabilities, IOs, again one of the very important, input output availability for the robots, how the robots can be interfaced with the other machines, some dedicated special features, what is the work volume, what is the reach and effector capabilities. So an engineer must know these things. Whenever he is going to use a robot, he is going to purchase a robot, he is going to study a robot. Now, again, we are turning our talk toward the multi-finger grippers. That this is one of the, especially for in the academics also, and also in the research aspects and in the industry, that multi-finger grippers have a lot of attention. Reason, आपने अक्सर तो रोबोट की फिगर्स भी देखे होंगे, आपने मल्टी फिंगर ग्रिपर के साथ देखे होंगे, कहीं पेंसिल पकड़े हुए दिखाया जा रहा है, कहीं एक उसके हाथ में, कहीं ग्लास उसके हाथ में है. पैरेलल या टू फिंगर ग्रिपर या टूल्स वाली फिगर आपको बहुत कम दिखाई जाती होगी, because this area is the focused and thrust area at the international level. आप नेट पे टाइप करके देखिएगा रोबोटिक रिसर्च में जो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर्स के एस्पेक्ट से जो मेजर एरिया इस वक्त है वो मल्टी फिंगर ग्रास्पिंग एंड मैनिपुलेशन का एरिया है. So over the last 2 decades, multi-finger robotic grasping had shown somewhat marginal topic to an important field of robotic research. This increasing interest in robotic grasping is partly due to the evolution of the industrial automation toward the flexible automation. And here, as I told you in the beginning, that end effector becomes the more flexible whenever you will try to, अगर 2 फिंगर से 3 फिंगर पे, टूल से 2 फिंगर पे जाएंगे तो भी ये चीज आएगी. एंड effector become the more flexible, control becomes the more complex. और 2 से अगर 3 पे जाएंगी, the same situation, फिर ये flexibility बढ़ा रहे हैं आप, तो कंट्रोल की कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी बढ़ रही है. In that case, grasping turns out to be a challenging issue. कि how to grasp the object, क्योंकि कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी अगर आप कम करना चाह रहे हैं और ग्रेस्पिंग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, तो ग्रेस्पिंग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक की अगर हम बात करें तो जो कॉमन ग्रेस्पिंग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, डेक्सटेरिटी, आर्टिकुलेशन, एक्चुएशन, डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम, ऑल दीज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आर द ग्रेस्पिंग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. अब अगर इसको आप बढ़ाएंगे तभी हैंड की फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी बढ़ेगी, एप्लीकेबिलिटी बढ़ेगी. अब इसको बढ़ाएंगे तो कॉम्प्लिकेशंस कंट्रोल के एस्पेक्ट से, दूसरे एस्पेक्ट से बढ़ेंगे, कॉस्ट बढ़ेगी. अब इन दोनों का जजमेंट एज इंजीनियर करना पड़ेगा, एज ए रिसर्चर करना पड़ेगा. सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर वर्किंग इन दिस एरिया एंड हैव डन लॉट ऑफ वर्क. यू कैन सी हियर, यहाँ पे उन्होंने दिखाया है कि फॉर एग्जांपल,
यस, गुड. Yeah. It's wonderful. Yes. Okay.
let me skip it. तो इस तरह के this type of the hands have been developed at the different laboratories and the different industries, and day by day people are working, but in one or the other there are the issues. और हमने कहा बना देने को तो कुछ भी बना दो, मगर जब तक इशू सॉल्व ना हो, that is a lot of research is there. आप इस तरह का hand has already been developed and is being used in the robots, but it does not mean the issue has been solved. There are the issues. ये आपको apparently दिख रहा है कि बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, मगर it is not totally like the human hand. So lot of issues are there yet to be addressed. Let me skip it again. So as I told that we are also working in this area, and we have developed one of the hand, and we have given the name as the Jania hand. And again, the shortage of time is there. We will not can't discuss the detailed studies. Several studies has been done on this hand, and its modeling, proper modeling has been done in the different form. Of course, the analogy with the human hand, the novelty of the hand that we are using the torsional spring for the inflection, and for the other side we are using the tendon. ये जो fingers के joints के ऊपर torsional spring use कर रहे हैं, ये automatically revert हो जाएंगी, और जब contract करना होगा तो we will use the tendon, और these tendons will pass through the different fingers, and that push you can control with the help of the load or force you will apply. You can calculate these. This force analysis has been done. I will skip it fast because of the time limit. For different normal equations, you can see the different type of the experiments. Students have performed the different experiments, and for the different materials, different shapes, and of course the different kinematic studies are there. All these are the design and kinematic studies are there, and we have for the different relations. Of course, the results are favorable. Then kinematic study, this forward and inverse kinematic of the robot, you will be knowing that has also been done with the help of the DH matrix. Then the trajectory planning with reference to things has been done. Workspace analysis. We have also done the workspace analysis for the fingers, 3 fingers and the thumb. So it's a 4-finger hand, not the 5-finger hand. There is a general thing that in the hand, the 5 fingers which are there, generally 3 fingers are used for grasping and 4th finger used for manipulation. As far as from the science and technology, 4 fingers are sufficient. Sometimes there is a query why this 5th finger has given the God. So answer, as far as in the literature we find that answer of the 5th finger, that hand is such a such position कि कभी भी एक्सीडेंट से आपकी एक फिंगर जा सकती है, तो अगर एक फिंगर चली जाएगी तो उसके बेस में एक रिजर्व में रहेगी, then it will start working like normal hand. This work, whatever the work we have done, it has been recognized by at the different levels. ACM Digital Library, we have the publications, we have the Intersciences publications in the International Journal of Intelligent Machine Control. They have also published our work. JCRME journals of Saudi, they have also published this work. All these things students are doing, and because of shortage of time, I'm not discussing them in detail. From the different aspects of the multi-finger robotic gear bus, especially in the industrial applications, we just discuss brief, and then rehabilitation and the humanoid robot, other human applications are there. Robotic surgery, In the robotic surgery, of course, the multi-finger grippers are used or the tools are used, depending upon the applications, which is one of the state-of-the-art application of the robots. In the medical robotics, multi-finger grippers or the tools are used. Also, this Pathfinder is also using this from the industrial aspect of the robots. So you can see the body arm portion, end effector portion, and then finally body arm portion, wrist assembly portion, and then finally end effector. Depending upon the application, what application is there, we will go for the end effector, and lot of applications are there depending upon the which type of the industry, which type of the application is there. Nowadays, a term cobot is used in the industry rather than robot, which is nothing but means the collaborative robots. Industrial cobots, they are the robots, but they are used in the form of the cobots. Industrial cobots are the collaborative robots, are designed to able to collaborate with the humans in an intelligent and safe manner, and are set to become the key part of the industry 4.0. So ये term आजकल बहुत common है cobot की, and collaborative robots are the robots that are capable of collaborating with the humans. In the industry, there were the issues कि robots को हम direct use कर रहे थे. There are the issues. तो हम एक तरफ तो हमारे पास वो concept है कि factories of future की जहाँ पे total control robots का होगा. दूसरी तरफ since it's a transition stage, direct हम इस तरह की industries, country like India and so many other countries हम नहीं use कर सकते हैं. Direct हम total control robots को दे दें. In that case, robots with collaboration of humans, cobots are more suitable. So collaboration is supposed to be enhance the human abilities in a safe way. Collaborative robots are capable of monitoring the environment and existing in the same facility together with the humans without sacrificing. You can see here, आपको लगेगा these are the different applications, the robots in the form of the cobots. In fact, these are the robots, but they are given the name cobots because they are being used in collaboration with the humans. Let me skip this video. You can go through on the net. You will find a lot of the thing about the cobots and cobots application. In the Jamia Millia Islamia, we established one of the such laboratory on the concept of the factories of future. So that there may be the total control of the robots, and there should be minimum intervention of the humans. This is the layout of that model. We have the two stations here. One station is the storage, raw material and storage station, and other station we have the machining station. So on the machining we have the CNC lathe, CNC milling, and the sliding robot here. In between them we have the conveyor, and the storage we have the raw material storage as well as the finished product storage. Then of course the PLC control with a pneumatic line for all them, and we have these dedicated systems with the system sim manager. We have a dedicated software, so the raw product robot takes from the the feeder system raw material storage and transfer with to the here on the conveyor. With the help of the pallet, part will come to this position. Robot will take the part from here, will put either in the CNC lathe or CNC milling, depending upon the job. Decision will be given by the CA manager. And then finally, when the product is finished, robot will again put the part. It will come back to the here, and robot will take the part and it will put in the storage. We have the VSRS, but the industry nowadays ASRS use automatic storage retrieval system. So this type is just model. We show the demonstrate the student how the factories of future of the robots will be there totally. Only the human intervention is at this stage where the net control is there. These are the hardwares of this laboratory, and these are the different softwares which we use. Of course, different robotic software, different CAD software, different CAM softwares, and this is the different stations which we have. Of course, station 1, station 2, and the manager station. This is the flow process diagram which I discussed with you, that input from the raw material via feeding with the station 1, station 2, and then turning, milling, finally station 2 going back to the storage, and thereafter the packing and other things which are there. So this is how the robots are being used in the fully automated industries. Lot of things are there yet to be developed, and you can go through it. Especially this interfacing of the robots depends upon the when you are going to take the robot, you will have to check its IO capabilities, how whether the robot can be used independently or the robot can be used in integration with the CNC milling, CNC lathe, CNC drilling, or any other type of the application that are used. Shows the capability how the robot can be integrated with the other type of the. So a lot of research areas are here. Now I'm going to compile it here, that these are the some important research areas, and those who are planning yet their PhD, they may go in these areas. Are modeling, kinematics, dynamics, trajectory control, artificial intelligence, robotic vision, multi-finger grasping, automation, robotic application, FMS. And we have for all whatsoever we have done here with the help of our teachers. I am highly thankful to my teachers, Professor Muhammad Hamiuddin, who was my MTech supervisor, Professor Sutto Mukherjee and Professor Arya Khan, who are my PhD supervisor. And I'm also thankful to my research students. All these are the different research students who has been working in the different areas. Most of them are the faculty members, those who have finished the PhD. I think these the last line, these two are yet to finish. Rahul has also to finish the work. Now let me come to one last point, that as I told you, in India we have the Robotic Society. So I will request and advise you people that you please develop, you join or become the member of this Robotic Society, and open the chapter of this society. This society is totally directly under the supervision of the Government of India, and high-end faculty, high-end institution faculty, as well as industry people are associated with this. The objective, as a standard objective, to promote the teaching and training of the research related to robotics, encourage the interaction between the robotic research in the industry, in India, and academic and R&D labs and industry. This is the major issue. कि बहुत सी जगह पे आपने रोबोटिक गेम होते देखे होंगे, रोबोटिक प्ले होते देखे होंगे, but how we can integrate all these things for the growth of the nation? Hold the joint workshop and conferences at the national and the international levels, associate the organizations involved in the robotics, of course the different type of the publications. Presently, our secretary is the Dr. Ashok, Professor Ashokan from IIT Chennai, and our president is Professor Shantu Chaudhary, Director IIT Jodhpur, and Vice President Professor S.K. Saha from IIT Delhi, as well as we have the different persons from the industry, and also so different chapters. You can go through the website rsindia.org. You can note this website rsindia.org. This website details are available. We used to organize the national these international conferences. Different conferences has been organized. That we have now the next conference, Advances in Robotics, at IIT Kanpur. That will be on June 30 to July 4. We have decided in the last GBM that this conference will be the online conference because of the ongoing COVID issue. We will organize this conference. You can go through the detail for this conference. In 2017, we hold this conference at IIT Delhi. In 2019, we hold this conference at IIT Chennai. Regarding the workshop, different workshop has been now the next workshop will be held at the IIT Ropar. These are my details. You can go through, have these details if you need any assistance and at any time in the area of the robotics, especially with the reference to the multi-finger robotic grasping. So you are welcome to for the discussion or this, anything which you are related to discuss with the robotic society. If you have any query related to the robotic society, how you want to open the student chapter, we encourage to open the student chapter because robotic society used to support its students also in the different forms. There are the student member at the national, international, sorry, at the national level or national committee. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to interact. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your valuable knowledge about this robot. And I would like to thank on the behalf of our mechanical engineering department for your valuable knowledge on the robotics. What are the basic development going on, and your contribution to science and technology for the development of this gripper. Basically, the gripper is your unique contribution to the knowledge. And I think most of us are in the field of research, and your guidance and your suggestions and your ideas will definitely motivate most of us. And with these words, I would like to thank you again on behalf of our mechanical engineering department. And if any participant having questions, any queries, he can ask from our sir, Professor Mohammed Saib. Any question, please? Sir, I would like to ask you one question about this development in robotics.
Yeah.
Is there any development in material also? So basically these are all typical mechanical based mechanism study. But now this in being a mechanical engineer, our contribution to the artificial intelligence and control is a bit low, very low contribution to us. And without having a knowledge of these artificial intelligence and control system and the materials which are to be developed and which are to be used in robotic arm, still under development. So, is there any chapter or any branch where we can go to and find?
Yeah, of course, because wear and tear is one of the very major issue for the long-term application. So how to reduce the wear? So wearable materials and wear enhanced characteristics are required, especially for the robotic material. And in this area, you can go through the wearable robots or wearable robotics is one of the area where you can find these things, how the materials or the newer materials are being used in the robotics.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Any questions? Any other questions, please?
Hello, sir. Sanjay, sir, I am audible, sir?
Yeah, of course, Piyush, you are audible.
Yeah. First of all, very good afternoon to all the dignitaries who are present here. And many thanks to Mohammed Suhaib, sir. The knowledge is very informative regarding that the robotics, sir. And there was one question from my side, that is, how could I add with that society, sir? Because I am also enrolled in research in 3D printing. So how could I enroll?
You just note this site rsindia.org and you can see the rsindia-org, and there you will find the membership form. You download the membership form, and for the students we have very nominal fees. I think 600 rupees are there. As long as they are students in that course, no further fees. Means in the first year, if you are going to register till final year, only one fees will work. You will submit the 600 rupees and you will remain member till final year. or as a faculty member, you can register for the corporate membership. The faculty membership is there for the 5 years, and I think it's about 4,000 rupees or some. You just refer the rates. I am just for the corporate membership. Some other rates are there. Membership form is there. You just go and details are there. You firstly fill up the membership form and send it to Dr. Ashokan at IIT Chennai. He will reply you that your form has been accepted. Then you can deposit the money. Without acceptance, you cannot deposit the money. There is some rule. Because firstly, sometime it was happened that people were submitting the money first and not sending the form. There were the issue. So they asked to firstly you fill up the form, send it to Dr. Ashokan. They will reply you. And if you have any problem, you can note my details and you may contact to me. You just take the snap of this and you may contact this. I will help you.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, sir.
Now, any other questions? Please participate. You can ask questions. So, thank you very much, sir, for your valuable knowledge. And thanks again on the behalf of our mechanical engineering department. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for joining this session. I'd like to welcome you all, and I request you all to please join the morning session, which will commence tomorrow at 10 a.m. So thank you. Sir, may I conclude this session now? May I end the meeting?
Yeah, of course, Vilesh, you can now proceed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.